So, Mr. Bances, thank you so much for joining us at UDC 2025. It's a privilege to welcome someone leading enterprise growth at Paxos. To start, could you please introduce yourself and describe your role?
Sure. Well, thank you very much. First of all, it is indeed a privilege to not only visit Korea for the first time.
Oh, it's your first time?
Yes, I've only changed planes here on my way to Singapore.
Oh, okay.
But this is fantastic. It's a beautiful country, and the conference has been actually amazing. I tend to attend several conferences throughout the years, and I love the organization and the content and the speakers here, so it's been fantastic.
Thank you so much.
No, of course. I'm currently head of the growth for enterprises at Paxos, which is an infrastructure company.
Yeah.
We provide infrastructure solutions in blockchain and crypto for enterprises globally.
Yeah.
And whether that is tools to facilitate the purchase and sale of cryptocurrency or a custody solution, but obviously what we're best known for is our issuance of stablecoins. So we are the entity that issues USDG for the global dollar network.
Yeah.
We are the issuers of PYUSD, the PayPal stablecoin, which prior to joining Paxos, I was part of the founding members of the crypto blockchain team at PayPal, and that's how I got to know Paxos. And we work on just the tokenization of all forms of assets, and are really focused on the efficient movement of assets globally. It's what we're trying to provide for solutions. Yeah.
So, since you're actually working with different products and different sort of industries and sectors, can you share specific sectors or industries where you're seeing the greatest traction, such as fintech, traditional finance, or corporates? Sure. And what kind of trends are driving that?
Sure. So I'll name a few, and then I'll speak more specifically about one. There is an incredible interest in the B2B space on what stablecoins can do for efficient movement of capital between organizations and paying counterparties, et cetera. But I think the one that excites me the most is because for a period of time I was involved in the remittance business.
Yeah.
And I live in Miami, Florida, which has a great international community. So sending money back home to friends and family is a big industry in Miami. And we're starting to see stablecoins really make an impact on the remittance market, both at the front end, in terms of an individual being able to send a stablecoin directly to the recipient in a foreign country, but also on the back end, where just the efficiency of the operation of the business is improved with stablecoins. Not sure how familiar you are with the market, but basically remittances, I provide a fiat currency or cash in the US, and I'm sending it, for example, a payment to my mother in Mexico.
Yeah.
Normally, the way that is settled is through international wire transfers or a lot of pre-funding,
right,
which requires capital to be tied up for 2 or 3 or 4 days. All of a sudden, stablecoins are starting to make a huge impact in being able to reduce that to same-day settlement, which will drive down the cost to the operators, which will hopefully translate to being cheaper for the individual sending money home. Because today we do have a problem where the cost of sending money back home is extremely high.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see, again, this is a real-world use case of how stablecoins lead to efficiency. Efficiency leads to a lower cost for the individual, and that's sort of the promise of the technology that many of us have been in the payment space for so long, are so excited about the possibility of cryptocurrencies and blockchain in general.
Okay, so while sort of you're coming up with all these sort of like products and sort of looking at different trends, regulations continue to shape the digital asset landscape significantly,
yes,
right? Like,
very much so.
It really depends on the regulations. So how does Paxos adapt to evolving regulatory frameworks in regions such as the US, Europe, and Asia?
It's a fantastic question. We were very fortunate that our founder from day one realized that having a strong culture of compliance and really emphasizing regulatory licensing, et cetera, was critical. We knew on a long enough timeline all of this was going to be regulated activities, so the company Paxos invested in this heavily day one. We were the first digital asset company to receive a limited purpose trust charter from the New York Department of Financial Services.
Wow.
And that sort of set the stage, and then we have taken that same approach internationally. We are regulated by the Monetary Authority of Singapore for the issuance of the USDG stablecoin. We are now EU MiCA compliant that we've applied for through an acquisition that we did last year. And then also in the US now, post-Genius Act, we've already announced that we will be one of the first to transition from the state trust charter to an OCC charter as well. But we believe that for there to be mass adoption, the regulatory side is non-negotiable. First and foremost as the service provider, but also if we want entities to utilize our products, we understand that they have a regulatory obligation as well. So it's important to make sure that our standards are the top level standards that we could possibly apply in each jurisdiction.
Yeah, great. So finally, since you're at UDC,
Yes.
let's give a word to the UDC audience. So as our audience sort of range from blockchain developers, institutional leaders, and thought partners, what advice would you offer to those looking to collaborate with infrastructure providers like Paxos in building enterprise-grade solutions?
No, fantastic question. I think first and foremost is there's a lot of noise that happens and a lot of enthusiasm that happens, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
But at the same time, one must really analyze and sort of make sure that you understand what you're optimizing for and who your audience is.
Right.
And ask those difficult questions. And I think that is something that's very much of a learning process.
Yeah.
Understanding also the industry, the business of the clients that you want to utilize your services becomes very, very important. And that's something that we always strive to do, which is a fascinating aspect because stablecoins, blockchain, and crypto will impact almost all types of industries across. When you look at my calendar on a weekly basis and who I speak to, it ranges from financial institutions to consumer fintech platforms to telephone companies. It's amazing. And I think understanding and taking the time to understand what the real use cases are and their needs are is fundamental to providing that sort of solutions that they need to be able to operate and utilize your services.
Right.
Fantastic.
All right. Thank you so much.
That's absolutely my pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah.